Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm working on this digital piece, and I will talk a bit about what it is in a minute, but I want to talk mainly today about how much I want to put story into my work and how incredibly bored I am with a lot of my paintings lately and my artwork. And by lately, I mean the last few years. So I have been kind of fighting this the last little while. I've been feeling like my art is just not as satisfying as it used to be, and I'll end up doing several pieces in a row, and then I'll look back at them and I just feel bored looking at them. I think the thing is that I don't always notice until kind of after the fact. The act of creating the piece is enjoyable within itself, but then after I let it sit and I look at it later, I feel uninspired by it. And I want to be able to feel like I want to look at my work again, like I like what I said in it and that there was something more there. So we'll talk about it, and we'll talk about some of the solutions that I think I might have for myself. But I want to talk about this piece and what it is contextually. So I'm working on this digital painting, and it is for my playing card deck. So I'm running the Kickstarter right now. Hopefully you know about it. So the Grim Dreamers playing card deck Kickstarter is ending in less than a day, and we're reaching for the first stretch goal, and that would be 2 art cards included in all of the decks. So this is one of those art cards. So all of the decks will include 2 extra little pieces of artwork, so you could take them out of the deck and display them, or you could leave them in the deck, but essentially they're just extra cards. That's what I'm working on today. There will be a second one that I'm working on later. We haven't, at this exact moment that I'm recording, quite reached that stretch goal, but we're super incredibly close. So I am sure that we're going to get to it by the end of the Kickstarter. But if you'd like to check it out, if you'd like to get a deck for yourself, hopefully with one of these, with this art in it, then check out the link in the description that'll take you over there. I'm really pleased with how it came out, and I'm very, very grateful for all of you guys, anyone who did back it, who helped make it a reality, because we're funded. We're just reaching for that stretch goal now. Okay, so let's talk about story. It's been on my mind a lot lately, as far as like this war with myself, with feeling really bored of my artwork. And I'm almost positive that I can nail it all down to this one thing, this one issue. And that's that it's lacking story. When I think back to the pieces that I feel, even to this day, the most attached to, pieces that I've done in the past, they're the ones that had the most story. I'd imagined the most backstory for the character. There was more going on. There were more symbols in the piece. There was just more for the viewer, for you guys to interpret out of it, and more of like a plot in my own mind of like what was the story that that character was living through. And I think that that is the common thread, that's the kind of pieces that I love to look at. I feel fascinated with. I want to look at artwork that feels like it's taken from a book or taken from a graphic novel or whatever the storytelling element is. I want to feel like it's a moment in time, but there's more expanse going on. That character that I'm looking at in that piece of artwork is experiencing something, is having emotions and striving for something. I find that fascinating, and I realize that there's a lot of my pieces that just lack that. They don't really have a lot of depth. And I want to change that. I want to figure out a system for myself so that I can do more of that. So I think that's the thing, is that I look back at my body of work, and there's a lot of pieces that I do feel like checks that box, and that I feel really satisfied with it, or at least that it's present. And then there's a lot of pieces that just don't. And I want to trend more on the side that does have that. So I know that I can do it. The question is, how do I get myself to that place more often? And I think that it's going to come down to me just being intentional. I might even give myself like a worksheet to do before I start a piece, so that I can go through the worksheet and make sure that I've done certain tasks to make sure that I've at least addressed and thought about where it's gonna go. So I know that that's something that I really struggle with. It's one of my weaker points as a person, like my personality weak point as an artist. I tend to get very impatient. I just want to move on from one step to the next. I want to get to the end product so it can be done, so that I can start the next painting so that it can be done. And I feel like I just kind of go through that repetition of just like pushing to the next step. I want to get there and I want to get done. I want the satisfaction of getting through that process. To give myself the permission or the pressure to sit in a certain step before I move on. And that certain step really needs to be before I start working on the actual final piece of artwork. So I need to work on the thumbnails. I think that's where I need to start. I need to work on thumbnails that have more iterations, so I'm forcing myself to go through as many ideas as I can, deplete all my ideas, and then explore more ideas. I think that lingering step will get my, this is all theory, but I think it'll get my imagination going more. I think that I'll get all of my ideas out, and then I'll be looking at what I have, and I'll be looking for ways that I can expand on that. And how can I expand on an idea? I can think of more symbols or more story, something that's happening to that character that can then influence how they look, what their expression is, what the lighting is, what the environment is. So that leads me to my second one. Environments are an area that I feel weird that I don't do them. Like I love the pursuit and the idea of capturing a moment or like a time of year, like Halloween time and fall time, or right when the sun's going down, like the way that a certain time of day or environment or an experience, how that can feel. And I don't put that in my work at all. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to give environments for my characters to exist in. If they live in a real place, then they can have real experiences. And I would like to push more into that. Not that I want really fantastical elements, but I want it to feel less like fine art figures that exist to be fine art. And I want to push it more into, we're viewing into a world and seeing a character that exists there. In this piece that I'm working on today, 2 characters from my card deck. So it's Death and one of the maidens. So there's 4 different maiden characters in my deck. And for this one, I wanted them to be interacting. And that made a massive difference for me. For this piece, I feel like it's just pushing so much farther in the direction that I want to go. And I think that is the main reason why. It's because there's 2 characters and they're interacting with each other. So there's just so much more going on. There's more emotion. There's more interest. There's more negative space around them. There's a lot more to look at and to compose. And then there's different symbols that I had for each of the different characters and how they're interacting. It's something that's much more complex. And I really found that very engaging and interesting to work on. I think that's my third point, is I want to do more characters in the same paintings, in the same pieces, so that they're interacting and they're playing off of each other and they're informing each other as far as like how I'm designing them. I think that'll really help to push like intentional decisions. If one character is designed a specific way and then another character next to them is designed differently, you'll see that those were choices. Yeah, so I think that maybe to like recap that train of thought is I have a couple things that I think that I'll focus on for bringing story into my work. And I think that I really need to just first sit down and think about it. If I'm ready to start on a piece, I need to actually look at it and decide, is there enough story going on? Is there a world that's happening? Is there something that I could ask the question of what if in this piece, and then explore it and then add more and go down that route and find more unique ways of telling information in the piece. And then I guess the first point was I can split it into 2. Do more exploratory thumbnails and studies at the beginning so that I can make sure that I'm pushing the idea farther than just like a really generic first pass of just like a character, but it's missing a lot of details that I could have explored more. So what's the third one? Environment, more environments. And I think that doesn't even have to be extremely complex environments, I think even just a hint of an environment changes the feeling of an entire piece. And the last point that I need to remember is sometimes I want to have more characters interacting. I really want to do this more. I find it way more engaging. It's definitely a lot more work and time on a single piece, which again is one of my struggles, is that I really just want to, get through it, or at least get to the fun part and then get it done and then feel the satisfaction. So that one's one that I think that I have to make sure that I'm intentionally putting pieces like that in throughout my process, or throughout the pieces that I'm working on, I guess. So let's talk about this piece really quickly, just the process that I went through. So I sketched it. This is one that I did not do. Again, I don't do any thumbnailing, and I really should, but I didn't have a thumbnail for this. I had the image of Death and the Maiden dancing. I know it's not novel or unique, but it is a good idea, so I went with that one. And I have really good references of couples dancing, references that I've paid for and collected over the years. Anyways, so I started with the sketch, and I really liked the sketch. And then I really struggled with it. I started doing the line work, and it just was fighting me. There were areas that worked really well, and then others that I couldn't pinpoint why I didn't like it anymore. So I got basically all of the line work for the two characters done, and it was not feeling right. There was just something off. And usually when that happens, it's a compositional issue. And like, that's a side note of doing more thumbnails will help me avoid compositional issues. So that'll help in a lot of areas. But I tweaked the composition. I actually tried several different iterations, and I think I fixed it. Part of the imbalance doesn't get fixed till the very end, but I'm happy with the composition. And then I went back to the sketch, and I was looking at that, and I liked her hair in the sketch so much more. It had more flow to it, and it felt more elegant in the way that it guides the eye through the piece, as opposed to the way that I ended up doing like the final line work. So I erased her hair, I redid that. I was much happier. It was one of those things that I didn't really realize that I didn't like it until I looked at what it was and realized that I like that so much more. So I actually do really like doing that when I'm working on pieces. I like to look back at the sketch. There's always something there that has more life that doesn't really get translated over into the final. And then if I can find a way to bridge the gap, then I'm much happier with the piece. So I struggled with that for a little while. I struggled with the piece, and then there was just a point where I had fixed enough things that I started to see the light through the tunnel with this one, and it started to feel better and better. And the better it felt, the more I enjoyed working on it, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I was able to get it to a much better place, in a place that I really liked. And then I tweaked the colors, I add some atmospheric layers, and yeah, I'm really happy with where it ended up. This one, I feel like it accomplishes so much more of telling a story than a lot of other pieces. And I think a lot of my other pieces, I feel like it kind of has like a story to it, but I didn't think it through. I didn't think through like what the symbols are actually supposed to mean, and I didn't push past that initial just putting things down. And I think I think you can tell. I can tell. So yeah, I like this piece in that it accomplished a lot of what I'd like to do, and it's nice to get like that confirmation that I'm headed in the right direction as far as what I want to be working on. What is the thing that's missing in my work? And just a quick reminder, my Kickstarter for the Grim Dreamers playing card deck is ending very soon, less than a day. So there is that link in the description, so you can go and check it out. And I'm very pleased with it. I think I have one original left, and we have some custom wood boxes that I designed I did the basic design, and my husband helped me make it 3D. It's made in-house. We have the card decks, of course, and a few other art goodies that are part of Kickstarter. So yeah, go check that out. I'm really excited to finish it, get it sent to everybody, and then work on the next project. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.